What's up, everyone? Today I want to talk to you about money and happiness. The age-old question, does money buy happiness? Absolutely. Absolutely. But the problem is that people don't frame this correctly in their minds. See, money alone does not buy happiness, but it sure as hell helps. In terms of buying happiness, it's one attribute. And what you have to understand is that just like anything else, if you have one tire on your car and you're driving down the street, well, I don't know how far you're driving. If you're making it in circles, you're probably doing pretty good. You're probably wrecking the rest of the rims that you have on the car. See, there's many pillars to success. The four most common known about is health, wealth, love, and happiness. Yeah, health, wealth, love, and happiness. Those are the four pillars to success. Supposedly, truly successful people tell you it all boils down to those four things. I would argue that there's a fifth one, a fifth pillar to success, being spirituality. I would say that that definitely is very important as well. And if you're not balanced there, then you can have all the rest, but you're missing a massive part of what life's about. So in terms of does money buy happiness, it is just one attribute. But in life, everybody sees through a lens, okay? Your mind is very much like a computer in that through your five senses, you extrapolate data from your surroundings, and then you compile the data and run it through a series of screens, okay? Your screens being your memories from what's happened in your past, the experiences that you've done, your decisions, and the outcomes, and you weigh a, what is it called? You weigh a ratio that is risk-reward ratio, okay? You take risk-reward ratio, run whatever the new data is through it, and then you make your decision based upon that. And when it comes down to people coming out and discussing what they really feel about things, a lot of people get really nervous when it comes to money. See, we have a very interesting culture when it comes to money. We are constantly in your face told, go get as much money as you can. Go do this, go do that. We got the rappers, you know, with the chains throwing all the shit in your face, their cars, their nice houses, all this kinds of stuff. But if you go for money, the people around you probably, I'm just assuming, and again, this is going from my memories, but when I used to talk about money, people around me would be like, oh, well, money's not all that matters. Money's not, you know, money's the root of evil, or money's all this kind of stuff. No, it's not. It's not. Human decision is where you end up having the atrocities that take place in life. Human decision is where you have somebody who goes after money their whole lives, is rich, a billionaire, but is an absolute miserable person, you know, divorces 5, 6, 7 wives. I mean, it's crazy. I can't imagine one wife, but it's human decision that leads you down the different paths. Money's not the root of evil. Money is an attribute. Food is an attribute. I got a question for you. If you had no food and somebody had food down the street from you and you knew how to work on cars, well, he could pay you in food, could he not? That's not money. It's a currency. Money is just a means of exchange. That's all it is. And you have to stop putting it on this pedestal where you end up feeling as if I have to chase it, but if I say that I want it, I'm greedy, but it's so fucking important and da-da-da. No, it's not any of those things. It's just part of a balanced life in this current society. You go back in time, people used to fight over seashells. You know, people used to fight over land. You know, people, anything that was a symbol of power, a symbol of respect or success. These are things that people used to fight over. But the point is that you have to reframe your mind. And I'm going to make a video about how to reframe and how to program your subconscious, because your mind only has a conscious level of, I don't know the percent, but I know it's stupidly low, has a conscious level, I don't know, I'm just going to guess 10%. is the conscious level of what you have in your brain. The rest of it's subconscious. And it's much like a computer. Again, you have the operating system, you have the hardware at which you can look at. But ask your common person, what's going on in the substructure of the operating system? What's going on in your registry? Can you go in and edit the registry for me? Can you I don't know, run your DNS server through? It doesn't matter. The point is there's a lot going in underneath a computer of what you can actually visually see. But you can get different software for the computer, and you can reframe your own mind. And I'll make a video on how to do that. But what you need to understand about money, and in terms of buying happiness, is that if you have the money to buy the good food, if you have the money to buy a good home in a safe neighborhood, if you have the money to take care of yourself, clothe yourself, be warm in the winter, I'll bet you're a hell of a lot happier than the guy in the cardboard box. You know, in terms of that and stuff, you know, there's people who say that love is all they need. You know, they put love on this pedestal. Well, I agree. I agree love is extremely important. Love is, in fact, I would say that the root of most of the happiness that's even found around the world. I would think that love is probably the most cohesive unit of exchange that we can have as a people to turn this world around and get on the right track. But what happens is that you can't put that one on this huge pedestal either. It's part of a balance, okay? If love is all you need, you know, you hear guys talk about, oh, you know, I don't need love. I'd be happy with my woman in a cardboard box, and you know, as long as we're in love. I think you're fucking stupid. I really do. In terms of being happy in a cardboard box, you can get lucky. All right, you can have someone who feels the exact same way, and that stuff happens, okay? I've seen that kind of stuff happen. But the odds are your woman probably likes nice things. She probably doesn't like to freeze to death in the winter. She probably likes to eat and not go to bed hungry. She probably, you know, I don't know, wants some shoes? Okay, a cardboard box is not going to cut it, all right? Unless you can make those things and she's good with that and you go live in a cave somewhere and you can have your cardboard box in the cave. If that works for you, you know what? There are people who live in caves. But for the masses, it's not going to pan out the way that you're looking at. You have to balance your life, okay? It all comes together. So with money, you can take care of yourself, you can be healthy. I know I'm a lot happier when I don't go to the doctor, okay? I haven't had insurance in a while. I just got it again because I had another accident, and you know, probably need to get on insurance. If you know anything about me, I do some stunts on motorcycles and I race a little bit, and you get hurt doing that stuff sometimes. I got some bangs. But when you have money, you could do awesome things. You could be as altruistic as you want. You can give to charities. You can give to somebody on the side of the street. You know, instead of giving them money, why don't you take them out? You know, take them for food. I think there's some kid on YouTube. He did that. He took this bum out. I think he took him to eat a steak, and then he gave him a hotel room. He bought him nice clothes. He did whatever. I mean, I don't know if he got him a job and all that kind of stuff. But the point is you can't do that without money. Money is the exchange of currency for goods and services. That's it. Now, when you understand what money's about and you realize that you need to respect it just as you respect anything else in your life, then you can move forward, and you don't have to censor yourself when you talk to somebody and tell them that, oh yeah, you know, I'm trying to do good in life. I'm trying to make money and stuff. I got a question for you. You ever made $100,000? You ever made 50? You know what? You ever made $20,000? Okay. While you were making $20,000, if I came to you and I said, hey, listen, I know you're making $20,000, but how about you work for $10,000? How about you do that? Same job, $10,000. How are you going to feel about that? You're going to tell me to go pound sand. Get out of here. Well, the point is that the reason you won't do that is that you're used to a certain standard, and you know that your worth at that job is $20,000. Well, I have a question for you. Why is your worth only $20,000? Think about it. See, $20,000 is twice as much as 10. Well, $40,000 is twice as much as 20. 80 grand is twice as much as 40. Why are you not worth 80 grand? See, there's an interesting attribute about deserving success, and what you put out, you get back, and all that kind of stuff. That everything that you do gives an equal reaction, right? Well, if you're putting in $20,000 worth of work, why don't you put in more worth of work? And if where you're working isn't planning on paying you anymore, go. Get out of there. If you're not happy where you are, you've been there too long already. Okay? Anyways, the point that I want to make about money and everything, my videos always kind of get long because there's so much to talk about, and I try to condense it, but I really can't. I kind of need to learn how. But I want to give you a quick story about my family, okay? Now, I've been a poor man. I may be on my way to being a rich man, but I've been a poor man, and I'm not rich yet. But I'll tell you the difference between where I live, how I live now, and how I lived back then, hell of a lot different. You go back 5 years in my life, I was homeless. I didn't have any place to go. I got kicked out of my parents' house. I was 22 years old. They kicked me out for good reason. Nothing I'm going to get into, but they kicked me out for good reason. But you know what? I got nothing but respect for my parents. I was blessed with very good parents, but I didn't appreciate it. At least not back when. Sure as hell do now. But the thing was, you go back 5 years, I was sleeping in my car. And you know what? Compared with some other people out there, sleeping in a car, doing pretty well. In fact, I'm probably rich compared to some other people when I'm sleeping in a car, who are sleeping out under the elements, no clothes, freezing to death, all that kind of crap, right? Well, the thing was that I realized 100% I was not where I wanted to be. And the whole story of how I got back on track and stuff is quite convoluted and long. But the thing was, when I finally did get back on track, I stayed with a friend for a little bit, and then I did get an apartment down in Connecticut. And the thing was that I started to try to build a business. That's what I tried to do. I had no money, nothing. Like, when I say I had no money, I bullshitted my way like you would not believe to get that apartment. And it had a garage, and I put a carpet in. I put up shelves, painted them, made them nice. I put in a desk that I found, basically side of the road kind of thing. Put a desk in there. And what ended up happening is that I started to advertise because I was good at electronics, right? So customers would come in and stuff. Well, I talked a good game, and I repaired their stuff right and properly, which is why I've grown such a strong customer following throughout the years. But I got a secret for you. I didn't have food upstairs, okay? I went to bed hungry sometimes. I cried myself to sleep. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I was freezing. I was fucking freezing in that garage. You know how cold garages can get in the winter? It was one of the coldest winters, except for this one, because this was pretty damn cold too. But I'm in a warm house in this winter. But back then, I was in the garage. I had layers and layers and layers of clothes on. It didn't help. I was trying to work with my hands. I couldn't work with gloves. I had to take apart pieces, solder things back together. I had to make stuff happen. Because I had grown such a following, and I had to do this just to make the rent, that I would be up at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning. Because I hadn't gone to sleep. Because I couldn't. Because if I went to sleep, I wouldn't eat the next day. And I used to have this heat gun that I would do some of the work with. And that heat gun, I would sit on a shelf in front of where I was doing the work and stuff, right? And when I would work, I would have that heat gun blasting in my face, and I promise you this is the truth. One day, I got burned all around my mouth. It looked like a clown lipstick type thing. Because I had stood in front of that heat gun freezing for so many hours in a row that I didn't even realize I was burning myself because I was so numb from the cold. Now I ask you, why do I not deserve the success at which I am striving for? Why do I not deserve that? See, all I want in terms of money, in terms of buying happiness, is to not do that again. All I want is to live abundantly and enjoy my life. I want to wake up in the morning and have a choice at where I go. If I want to go to the Bahamas, I want to fly out there. Now you tell me what reasoning I don't have for wanting what I feel that I deserve. As a man, I think everybody should want things. I think everybody should be happy to a certain extent with what they have and build upon it. If you're happy with what you have and you have everything together, God bless you, man, because that's you've got the dream right there. But see, I'm happy with my truck outside that's falling apart because I'm driving that thing into the ground. Now, yeah, I can go out and buy another truck right now, absolutely. I could go and get something nice, $20,000, $30,000. Yeah, I could go get something nice. But see, I'm taking that money and I'm reinvesting in myself. Most important investment you'll ever make. You reinvest in yourself. And I do it in many different ways. But the thing is, I'm happy with that truck because I know that truck is driving me to success, because the more duct tape I use on that truck, the more pieces I keep together on that truck, the less money I spend on anything else. See, I think one of the most awesome things you can do is spend money on things that you believe in. See, you vote with your dollar. Every single time you go and spend some money, you vote with your dollar, period. And something that I find really cool is that in my business, I have one of the best CWOs on the East Coast. My web services division buries other companies. I know it does. We have done some incredible websites. We're redoing ours right now. But the thing with websites is it allows me to walk into a business that I believe in, like Center for Natural Healings type stuff, you know, where there's naturopathic healing and all that kinds of stuff, and people actually get healed. They don't just get a prescription for the rest of their lives. I was diagnosed with a disease when I was I don't know, 8, 9 years old? Something like that? Well, I was also told throughout my whole life that disease is not curable. Well, I don't have that disease no more because I looked into alternative healing and I looked into different things that most people in the society will not look into, because I wanted to know the truth, because something didn't feel right, you know? And all these videos and stuff that I make and that I'm putting up and all this, you have to understand the mindset that you have to have if you want to be successful. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about successful in your life. Question things. This guy's a doctor. He has a PhD. Great. What else? Okay, who is he? How'd he get there? Did he bubble in a bunch of answers? Did he pay somebody off? Did he do it through true busting his ass hard work? Did he do it just for the money so he has no passion for it, no real passion to see you healed? You have to look at the non-tangible aspects of life. You have to look at the behind the scenes type stuff. You know what I mean? Anyways, I went to this healer and stuff and I got healed. Okay, that's a big story for another day, but the point is that I'm doing this lady's website because, like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. See, I walk into her place, she healed me. I want more of those places in my world. And you know what? I'm not charging her anywhere near what other web places are going to charge you to design your website, because I believe in what she's doing. And as far as I'm concerned, places that I believe in what they're doing, yeah, I want them to succeed. And she can't, period, she can't afford a $10,000 website. The places that can't afford $10,000 websites are getting all the kickbacks from like pharmaceutical drugs and all that kinds of crazy shit. But I don't believe in that, so I'm not going to pursue that, right? But see, without going after money in my life, without building my business, without friggin' paying my web services division 4 or 5 times what I make in a year, I wouldn't have this. You know, I went after the best of the best to surround myself with. I went after lions. See, you surround yourself with people better than you, you will be better. Period. One of the things that I absolutely love doing is giving gifts to people who deserve it. You know, probably one of the coolest scenes in a movie I ever saw was in Wolf of Wall Street. You know, when he's doing really good, and I'm not saying he did things right, I'm not saying I condone it, but he had a ton of money. He's in love with this girl, the Duchess, you know, whatever. I forgot her actual. Maybe it's Nadine. I don't know. Because he names the boat Nadine. But he goes down the yacht and he's got her eyes covered. You know, it's like their wedding present. You know, whatever. And he takes her off and she sees the yacht and she's like, "Oh my God, baby!" Like, you know, wraps him in a hug. She's blown away. All this kind of stuff. Dude, would you not want to be the man that does that for your woman? Why not? Would you not want to be the woman that can give something that incredible to your man? You know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, everything is important that you do in a relationship. And money is not the answer to solve everything, and it's probably not the answer to solve even 40% of what goes on in life. But the point is that if you truly love somebody, well, you're going to give to the fullest extent of what you can. So if you're bringing in a modest paycheck, you know, $20,000, $25,000 and stuff, well, you're going to take your girl out to dinner, you're going to, you know, buy her a ring, you know, whatever you're going to do, you're going to love your woman right? Okay. Well, if you're making $1 million a year, I'm not saying it should be required, but I'm saying, wouldn't it be cool to be able to give that person something incredible? You know, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool for me to go and retire my mother? You know? Wouldn't it be cool for me to give back to my parents who took care of me essentially for you know, in ways, 22 years before they kicked me out? Quick story about my parents is that, well, you know what, this is getting a little long. I'll share things in other places and stuff. Just basically the point is that, does money buy happiness? Absolutely. Does food buy happiness? Absolutely. Does good rest at night buy happiness? Yep. Because everything is just an attribute. Anything you like buys your happiness. Stop putting money on a pedestal. Understand it for what it is. It's an exchange currency. Reframe your mind. You're looking through a turquoise lens. Change your mind. Look through a rosy lens. All right? You got to understand, when you change your mind about things, you change the world with which you live in. All right? Probably one of the most important things you'll ever hear. You change your mind, you will change the world at which you live in. Good luck.